Hello, everybody. It's John with ACTION-FLIX.com coming back at you with a bonus trailer tactical for this week. That's right. I have not done trailer tacticals for a long while, and now I have done one earlier this week, and now this is my second one. And I'm just getting my feet wet because I've been out of commission in terms of life and everything and haven't been doing a lot of podcasts and everything. So I'm just kind of, getting my feet wet again, trying to, shake the rust off, if you will, of myself and my persona when I do these podcasts and everything. So that way you guys can enjoy it and I don't look like a complete idiot. So earlier this week, I did a trailer tactical for High Ground, which is coming out this Tuesday, March 18th on digital. It stars Charlie Weber, John Boyd, Henry Thomas, Catherine McNamara. So a good movie. Like I said, I had the chance to see it because, like I said, I had announced that I had interviewed Charlie Weber for the movie, and that's going to be coming out tomorrow. Actually, it's a recorded interview, but it's gonna be on the podcast, and I'm gonna chat, or I have chatted, or I'm going to chat, however you want to look at it, for the movie. We had a great chat. Normally you do like 10 minutes with these people, like when PR people set stuff up, it's like a real fast 10 minutes, sometimes even less than that. Like you get 7 minutes. It's like, what are you going to talk about in 7 minutes? Besides, hey, how was the movie? How was it filming? How was it stuff like that. But I got 30 minutes with the man before he had to run off to Bulgaria to shoot a movie, or whatever the case may be. So be on the lookout for that. So I did a trailer tactic for that, and I also put in the American Samurai trailer. We all know Lyle Goodwin, indie filmmaker, teamed up with director Sam Furstenberg, who originally directed American Samurai, starring David Bradley and Mark Dacascos back in the 90s, and there was studio interference after the fact, and they had a lot of scenes put in that weren't necessary. I talked about my thoughts about the sex scene that they put in, that it was body doubles. You could totally tell, like you didn't even see the faces. It was totally ridiculous. So stuff like that. And then like the narrative was kind of thrown around and it didn't flow. So Lyle was able to kind of piece things together and put it right in terms of how Sam wanted it done. So I put that trailer in as well. So now we're doing a bonus trailer tactical, and here's why. So last week, Apple Plus TV, we all know that they have the big movie with Brad Pitt coming out called F1. It's the race car movie. It's the Formula racing. So here's the initial teaser poster that they had for it, and then this is the new one that they just released, coming out June 27th this summer. Brad Pitt looking all in his glory as Sonny Hayes, a retired race car driver who comes out of retirement to train a young upstart, kind of similar to Driven. If you guys remember the Rennie Harlan directed movie Driven, starring Sylvester Stallone, Kip Pardue played that. But so it's kind of like that. Sylvester Stallone played the race car driver. Let me see what his name was. Let me remember. Yeah, Joe the Hummer Tanto. That's right. He came out of retirement. This was IndyCar racing, so this is different from Formula One racing. So it's all car racing, but there's different different versions of it. Kip Pardue played James Roman Jimmy Bly, rookie champ that Stallone came out of retirement to instill his wisdom, if you will. And it wasn't a box office success by any means, and it was critically panned. I have seen it. I've seen it more than once. I mean, it's a fun movie. I mean, listen, it's like a popcorn movie, I guess you could say. I mean, it's not like it's bad in the sense like, it's like you watch like a really bad, like low budget movie. It's solid. It's just, it's just formulaic. There's all the tropes are there. Stallone's great. I mean, it's a different role for him. He's played a retired race car driver in this one, which is kind of cool because normally you're used to seeing him running around with guns in his hands and stuff like that. Although he has done a lot of dramas, he's done the Rocky thing and everything, and the boxing and everything. But this is similar to that. That's what I would say. So again, we got Brad Pitt looking all macho, muy mono, if you will, in this movie. Javier Bardem having a ball playing in this, really looks like playing an arrogant owner. It's like how but here's the thing. So let me get my notes out for this real quick because I have some stuff on my website so this was directed by Joseph Kosinski. We all know Joseph Kosinski was the director of Top Gun Maverick. He's hooked up with Tom Cruise a couple times. I believe directed Oblivion as well as he did Top Gun Maverick. And then we all know Top Gun Maverick better than the original. The sequel was mind-blowing. It was epic. On a grand scale. They were in real fighter jets. They had cameras in real fighter jets. It was real action. Unlike the original one where you knew they were just like in a, they made the cockpit and then a blue screen, a green screen behind them or whatever the case may be. So this was them actually in airplane fighter jets, flying around. So he's looking to do for race car driving what he did for jet fighting with F1, and it looks pretty sensational. Like he said, they got cameras in these cars. They're racing around the racetrack. You got Brad Pitt this time instead of Tom Cruise. And it just looks like a lot of fun. I mean, again, it's probably as good as Driven, I'm going to say. And actually, this was supposed to be a sequel to Days of Thunder when it was first announced in terms of a project, which was kind of interesting. So it kind of would have been kind of cool to see Tom Cruise come back, and do like him coming out of retirement kind of thing. But it has since altered into what we have now, which is this with Brad Pitt. Again, muy mano, whatever you want to say. I think I'm saying it wrong. But yeah, he looking great. And again, a stellar cast. There's him having a bad day, or he's just tired. He's out of shape, whatever. Although, he doesn't look out of shape. But real quick before I get started, just a couple of announcements I want to make. So again, as you all know, that I also moonlight on the Action Elite Live, the War Room, with Owen Frill from the Action Elite and the guys over there, J-Man, Charlie. Sometimes Steven and Sean show up, and others. We had last Wednesday, we had the big Recoil show, which we talked about the great 1998 Gary Daniels vehicle Recoil, which is one of his best, if not his best, outputs in terms of action cinema. And we had the great Art Camacho, the director himself. Yes, Art Camacho, who I've interviewed too in the past. Great guy. Loves to talk, which is awesome. Has great stories about the VHS, 90s, the heyday, the glory days of action cinema, where all these movies were coming out on VHS. And then when DVDs got started, same thing. They were coming out on DVD and all that good stuff. So we got a chance to talk to Mr. Camacho, who came on as a special guest star, and just a great episode. We're all excited and everything because we're like, oh, we're talking to Art Camacho. And again, I was like, I'm talking to Art Camacho again, so this was great. Of course, Owen has interviewed him too in the past and everything. So just a great conversation. Gave us great stories about directing Recoil with Gary Daniels, as well as a bunch of other stuff. He talked about working with Steven Seagal in Half Past Dead, which he worked on, had a funny anecdote about that. Just how he came up with he came up with the plot for Recoil in the shower. He was taking a shower and he thought he had the day off and it was like a nice relaxing day. And he was like, oh shit, I gotta do this. So he was taking a shower and he's like, okay. And he came up with the whole thing in his head. So it's just fun things like that. So it's a great time. Check it out. It's over at my man Owen, the Action Elite, and it's the Action Elite Live, the War Room, we call it, where we all get together and just, sometimes we talk good, sometimes we talk bad, sometimes we talk, in terms of old school action and new school action. This Wednesday coming up, so today is March 16th, so it's Sunday, March 16th, as I'm recording this. So on the 19th, this Wednesday coming up, we are celebrating the life of Gene Hackman. And as we all know, the legendary actor passed away. Such a sad story. It finally came out what happened with Gene Hackman. He was 95, but he had Alzheimer's. He had to be taken care of. And his wife, who was in her 60s, I believe, was taking care of him, like living life. They're out in the desert, I believe, Arizona. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But she unfortunately passed away without anybody knowing. And unfortunately, she passed away. Gene Hackman was on his own and he had Alzheimer's, so he didn't know how to take care of himself. He had a pacemaker. Such a tragic story. He died, and then evidently there was a dog in a cage that they had and wasn't able to get out. They had 3 dogs. 2 were fine. One unfortunately died because it couldn't get out of the cage to drink water or eat food. And such a tragic story. But neither here nor there. We're going to celebrate Gene Hackman and talk about one of it's my favorite Gene Hackman movie. It's Uncommon Valor. 1982. It's one of the bring them back Vietnam movies where we get the win. We all know we didn't win the Vietnam War. We pulled out, and it was such a mess at that time, and soldiers were getting spit on and stuff. It was just a nasty time for American history. Although, like, it's a nasty time for American history now. I'm gonna say it. I mean, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to be an American. I mean, oh my God. Oh, with everything that's going on, it's like, listen, I am not any way affiliated with all that stuff that's going on. I'm just here talking action. Anyway, so yeah, such a bad time. But then back in the 80s, you had Rambo, you had Chuck Norris doing it and missing in action. You had a bunch of lower grade movies doing it, but it was this thing of let's win the Vietnam War. So they had these, let's get POWs out. So Uncommon Valor, probably the best bring them back movie in terms of just a great cast. You had Red Brown, the late great Fred Ward, who unfortunately died a little while ago as well. Harold Sylvester, Tim Thomerson, who's always great. The late great Patrick Swayze in one of his first roles. The cast is great. The action's great. The drama's great. It's sad. Every time I watch it at the end, I always get teared up a little bit. A great song played at the end, Brothers in the Night. Oh my God. The best 80s bring them back movie, and we're going to celebrate it this Wednesday on the Action Elite Live. There you see the thumbnail for the YouTube show. It's such a great movie. So that's this Wednesday. So I believe, yes, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Central, which where I am. I always have to remember it's 7 o'clock because they're all in the Eastern time zone. And I'm like, I gotta get on, before 7, not before 8, because if I get out before 8, I'm late. I might as well not do the show. So it's like, that's the only thing that sucks about living here in Panama City Beach, because you don't think about it, but we are in the Central time zone, how it works out. And it's weird because it's like I lived in Ohio, which Ohio is kind of like, just farther up north, but actually a little further than the panhandle. And it's like they're Eastern time. And it's like, it's just weird how it works out. But this is Central time zone. All right. So without further ado, I didn't post the F1 trailer. I had posted the teaser trailer and I posted the Super Bowl spot. But unfortunately, I knew it came out. I was like, you know what? I don't have time. I was doing a bunch of other stuff. I'm doing a lot of press for High Ground right now, which, again, I'm happy to do. I just got an email. I'm going to say this. I just got an email yesterday while I was at work, being miserable at work. And a person reached out to me about a certain movie that's coming out pretty soon. And I was like, ooh, yes, please. So I emailed him back. So we're going to see what happens. So I'm not saying anything right now. I'm not saying what the movie is. I'm not saying who's starring in it. I'm not saying when it's coming out. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to jinx it. So I'm hoping he gets back. It's Sunday. So obviously he's probably not going to get back to me till tomorrow, which is Monday, which is fine. Take your time because we have time. But yeah, so hopefully something exciting happens out of this because I'm game. I'm all for it. And that'll be another great thing to do for the website and the podcast. A lot of exciting stuff going on. So here we go. We are going to talk about F1. That's right. We're going to watch the new trailer. I haven't even watched this trailer yet. I've seen the teaser that they came out with last year. This teaser came out last year, mind you. Yeah. So again, Joseph Kosinski directs. The hotshot Joshua Pierce is played by Damson Idris. Again, it's got that driven. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But again, it looks better because again, they got cameras and real Formula One racing cars zipping around the racetrack. So we're going to check this out. And again, I'm going to make it teeny tiny because this seems to be working now because I am not getting deemed by YouTube because it's such a small screen. And sometimes I'm talking over the trailer, so this is for commentary purposes, YouTube. And again, I'm promoting your movie. Not that F1 starring Brad Pitt needs my endorsement or my promotion. Because it's a huge movie. I'm more the indie guy. I'm a champion for the indie action filmmaker in movies and stuff like that. The movies that need that push, the movies that need your attention, and I give it to you. But this one, I just do it because I do all action, whether regardless it's Disney, Marvel, DC Studios. Which, oh my God, I hope they get it right. That's all I'm saying. And again, everybody's already bashing Superman, and it's and then the one promo spot came out and everybody's saying his eyes were looking in different directions. I keep looking at the picture. I'm like, they look fine to me. I don't know what everybody's talking about, but whatever. Everybody's just looking for something to bitch about on that movie. But yeah, so I do it all. I mean, but I'm a champion for independent action cinema because those are the guys and gals that need, the help in promoting these movies and getting them out to the masses and getting your attention, if you will. So, but we're going to have fun. We're going to watch the trailer for F1 and we're going to watch Brad Pitt race around in race cars and have fun and be all macho and, be Brad Pitt basically. So here you go. Here is the trailer for F1, Apple TV Plus original. It's going to hit theaters first and of course premiere on Apple TV Plus this June. Let's check it out.
Some people look at Sonny Hayes. They see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot, the best that never was.
And cinematography looks great.
But I see
Javier Bardem looks like he's having fun.
possibility.
He's such a great actor. Got Fleetwood Mac.
My Rook is a phenomenal talent, but he's young.
Again, just like the Jets, man. They're like real race cars zipping around with cameras in them.
Plus him. Who? I got a team.
When was the last time you won a race?
Sunday, Daytona.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Formula One.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then same as you.
That's like F you, young guy. Hey, come back when you do something. That's what I feel like.
He's such a prick. He's quick, though.
If you had any constructive criticism for each other, what would it be?
Don't be such an awesome kid. That was constructive.
Wow.
I'm laughing. That was funny. That was funny. It looks insane. Like, again, the race car scenes look awesome.
There's 20 other drivers still out on that track. Do you think any of them respect us?
They're saying Sonny Hayes isn't a has-been. He's a never was.
That's worse.
The last thing I do is drive that car. I will take that life, man. 1,000 times.
I'm offering you an open seat in Formula One. The only place you could say, if you win, you are the absolute best in the world.
I like it. It looks good. What can I say about that? So let's go over a couple things here. So the support cast, you saw them in there: Kerry Condon, Tobias Menzies, Kim Bodina, Shea Wingham, and Joseph Balderrama, Joanne Javier Bardem, and Damson Idris, and of course Brad Pitt in the movie, directed by Joseph Kosinski. Again, doing for race cars what he did with Jets and Top Gun. If he did what he did in Top Gun, which it looks like he did, it's going to be an exhilarating ride, and it's going to look a lot of fun. And, again, it looks formulaic at the same time. You got a crash. There's a tragic crash, as there always in race car movies. God forbid there shouldn't be a tragic crash and everything. But, again, it's fun. It's summertime. Let's go to the movies and see this on the big screen and just kind of, yeah. I mean, what else can I say? Forgive me, I forgot to hit my other stuff here because I got so excited when I came on. Again, getting my feet wet, but again, like and subscribe. So for all things action, as you can see scrolling down there at the same time. Looks good. Looks like a fun movie. What else can I say about it? It's Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt still looks great. We all know he's middle-aged just like I am. He looks better than I do. I mean, people say I look younger for my age. So everybody never thinks I'm in my 50s. Low 50s, mind you. But yes, I am. I'm in my 50s, but people say I look younger for my age. But Brad Pitt really looks good in terms of, but again, he's rich, so he can do what he has to do in terms of, keep it that way. I got some bonus trailer for you here. At least one I'm going to check out. This looks like a lot of fun. I'm going to get to it here. Hang on one second. This is called Gunslingers. Yes, Gunslingers. And this kind of, I mean, I kind of heard about this movie originally, and then the trailer came out, and then I'm like, yeah, now I'm on board for this one. This is called Gunslingers. Also has a great cast. Stephen Dorff, who plays the lead. Nicolas Cage, who's again, you watch. I have seen this trailer, and it's the voice. You got to hear the voice. Yeah, so this is a neo-noir kind of Western, guns blazing Western. So I'm going to read you the synopsis for it because it's not as known, if you will. And again, I'm going to make it. There's Stephen Dorff standing in front of a chap with Zima is in this. We all know Zima was in Rapid Fire with the late great Brandon Lee. So this is when the most wanted man in America surfaces in a small Kentucky town. His violent history and a bloodthirsty mob seeking vengeance and a king's ransom soon follow. As brothers face off against one another and bullets tear the town to shreds. I like that. This lightning fast gunslinger makes his enemies pay the ultimate price for greed. Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage, Stephen Dorff, Heather Graham, who still looks fantastic, starring the action-packed Western thriller about true justice in the Wild West. And again, a great cast. We also got Kostas Mandylor again. And Kostas Mandylor looks like he plays a good guy in this one. He's been playing a lot of bad guys in some of these independent movies that he's been doing. Randall Batinkoff is in it. Cooper Barnes, Zima, who I mentioned, Jeremy Kent Jackson, Kostas Mandylor, Scarlett Stallone. We have one of Sylvester Stallone's daughters in this one. William McNamara, who's a good actor. Mohammed Kareem, Brie Blair, Forrest Wilder, Forrest J. Smith, Lori Love, Eric Mabius. I like him. He was in the first Resident Evil, played in a Crow movie. Actually, one of the best Crow sequels that they did, because we all know that was a train wreck. Mitchell Hogue and Ava Moreau Tedros. I hope I got all those right. Brian Skiba directed. Yes, Brian Skiba, who did the second with Ryan Phillippe and Kostas Mandylor. I talked to Brian for that movie. I've interviewed Brian Skiba a couple times for his movies. Directs this one, and boy, does this look like a good one. If you like Westerns, as I do, I love Westerns. And again, we all know they've been making a lot of Westerns, like for direct-to-video market nowadays. And boy, do they look horrific. I have not watched a lot of them, although I've seen a few sparingly. The Warrant movies with Neil McDonough are good, especially the sequel. The sequel blows the first one away. So that's a good one. Yeah, so we're gonna check this trailer out and just have fun with it, because it's got Nicolas Cage hamming it up. His voice is, if anything, his voice alone is worth the price of admission. Stephen Dorff looking sensational. You know, he's the rugged, gunslinger. The man with no name, I guess you could say. So again, let's watch this one. This is Gunslingers. Brian Skiba directed it. Coming out soon. Rated R for bloody violence in some language. Can't beat it. Gotta love it.
This town is called Redemption, right? I hear everyone in this town is wanted. Excuse me? I'm looking for Thomas Keller. Do you know him?
It's like,
I'm looking for a man named Thomas Keller. Wanted for the murder
no
of
one.
Jess Rockefeller in New York City. He's wanted dead or alive.
So again, it's got the Western tropes in it, but who cares?
What's mine?
My town. My rules.
There's Nicholas.
No reason for you to die here tonight.
Wait
I don't
for
care
it.
about
Wait for it.
this.
Give me Thomas, or I'll collect on all your heads. Praise the Lord. There's a price.
Praise the Lord. It looks like he had like throat surgery or something.
We do it together.
How many men? 100 men, maybe more. What's up? All right then, let's load up. On 3, 2. I've been waiting for this moment. Whoa. The time is right now.
One.
It's fire now, man.
It's like,
Fire. But now for a hell of a fight. Donnie, you my hand. Who will come and get? That's what you want. Not these people. Throw them on that wagon. We're collecting on all of them.
yeah.
There ain't no dreams coming true for me.
Come on! West, live in what West.
there you go. Like again, how like it looks wild. It looks wild. Wild West. It looks solid. Production values look good. The cast looks great. Nicolas Cage talks like this, like he's gonna start coughing any minute now. So such a good time. This movie comes out in theaters, on demand, and digital April 11th. So we got some time for that one. But again, looks solid. And again, like I was saying, now I can keep this bigger because I'm not showing any footage. Here's my interview. It's on my audio podcast. As you all know, my audio podcast has been dormant for a few years now. I stopped doing it when I was moving to Panama City Beach, and of course, we all know my life went to hell, and all kinds of things were happening. So, but I have recently, as you know, have been doing the podcast thing here on YouTube. I've been doing the video thing. I am going to. I swear to God, I'm going to resurrect the audio one because it's just more out there for me. You know, so basically what I do is when I record these, I can do the audio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the audio, drop it down, and share them onto the audio podcast as well. Of course, you won't see the visuals if you're listening to the audio podcast, but still you can come onto the video YouTube channel and then see the visuals. And then I'll do special ones just for audio as well. But yeah, but there's my Brian Skiba, who I talked to the second I was able to chat with him. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll get reached out about this one. Not sure. You never know. So, yeah. So, there you go. All right. So, there it is. Trailer Tactical for this edition. A bonus episode, if you will. We checked out F1. Let's show it again. There's Mr. Pitt. Look at all dapper, as he should be. And again, great cast. Awesome cast. Got Javier Bardem looking spectacular. Brad Pitt tired. All kinds of good stuff. There you go. All right. So again, Trailer Tactical. Boom. Check it out. Tomorrow, my interview with Charlie Weber for High Ground hits the ACTION-FLIX podcast. It's going to be up on YouTube. I'm going to share it on my website, on social media, all over the place. And then I'm also going to do a special podcast review for High Ground as part, because you know I do the movie breakdown here on the ACTION-FLIX podcast when my arms hurt too much to type. So as we all know, I'm a writer too, but at the same time, I'm starting to do the video thing. It's a lot more fun to talk about the movies, get animated about it, get excited about it, than just writing stuff down. And every time I write things down, I think I always have to be sensational in my writing. Like you always see these people talking about, and they're trying to think of these great words to just say it was a great movie. It was fun, it was violent. And, it's exhausting trying to think of different ways to say things anymore. It's like, holy cow, just say the movie was good, or was it? All right, so there you go. So one last time, let me promote this Wednesday on the Action Elite Live over on the Action Elite with Owen and the guys. I'm going to be talking about Uncommon Valor with the late, great Gene Hackman. We're going to celebrate the man. I'm sure we're going to be talking more about other stuff that he did, not just Uncommon Valor, but that's the one we're focusing on because such a great movie. And again, Recoil is up now on his YouTube channel. I also shared it on my website. So if you want to click on it, just hit Recoil. And boom, it'll pop up and you'll be able to watch it here as well because I love to share, and promote my boy at the same time on the Action Elite. All right. So until this week coming up, I got to go to work pretty soon and be miserable, but then it's a short shift today. So that's good news. I don't have to be there for 10 hours like I normally have been. Tomorrow's Monday. I gotta be there for a longer time. But then I'm gonna be off for a couple days. I'm gonna try to plug away at the website and try to do as much as I can. Thank you again for everybody's support. Like I said, again, we hit over 1,000. We're at 1,070 something on YouTube. August is my big 10-year anniversary for ACTION-FLIX.com. And again, I've been promoting how I'm doing the weekly intel. Trailer Tactical, which I've been doing these two. Center of the Ring is coming back, I promise, where we compare two movies and see which one's better. Anatomy of Action Design, where we break down action sequences. Comic Zone, where I talk about all the latest, greatest comic books, maybe some old ones too. Yo-Jo Zone, which is coming. I am reading the Energon issues, loving it, loving the rebirth of G.I. Joe, as well as Larry Hama's run that they're also doing at the same time, which is totally different. And of course, the movie and TV reviews breakdown that I also do. So look for all that in the future. And I'm going to be doing some live shows. Oh, and I also want to say I'm going to try to do a live show this week for American Samurai. the restored definitive director's cut of Sam Furstenberg that Lyle Goodwin did. Hopefully, maybe I could get these guys on the channel too to talk about it. They've been doing some interviews and stuff like that, so we'll see what happens with there. I ain't promising anything. Like I said, I could try, but I'm gonna do a special live so that way you guys can chime in if you've seen it. I will tell you there'll be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the definitive cut, don't watch this until you've seen it because I got to spoil it in order to talk about it and do all that good stuff. All right. So just like Jason Statham jumping over a pool table as the bullets spray around him, and I am out of here. I'm dropping the mag and dropping the gun. Boom. We are done for this edition of the Action Fix Podcast Trailer Tactical. F1 June 27th. Check it out. April 11th is Gunslingers. This Tuesday, March 18th is High Ground. My big interview with Charlie Weber himself, Jarhead 3, The Return, The Siege, as well as The Painter. He was also in. We talk about it all. Until then, be nice until it's time to not be nice. This is John with ActionFlix.com and the Action Fix podcast saying, have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Take it easy.